Dark Souls, a game synonymous with concepts like endless suffering, perpetual punishment, and death. Lots and lots of death. Anyone familiar with Dark Souls knows this sentiment has been earned for one reason and one reason only. Dark Souls is difficult. I mean, really, really difficult. So difficult, in fact, that Dark Souls, off the back of its predecessor Demon Souls, popularized its high difficulty, learned by repeatedly dying, and boss battle-filled RPG gameplay into its own subgenre of gaming, known as Soulslike games. Millions of gamers have taken on the challenge that is Dark Souls since its initial release in 2011, with varying degrees of success, and since the birth of Twitch and the rise of live streaming, many a streamer has too. Now, the history of Dark Souls and streaming to those in the space needs no explanation, but for those of you who have been living under a Dwayne, let's recap. Apart from the obvious appeal of watching someone publicly humiliate themselves, rage quit, and overcome hours of adversity on stream, Dark Souls and other Souls-like games helped popularize a very specific niche on Twitch and other streaming platforms: the marathon stream. The idea behind a Souls-like marathon stream is simple: stay live until you beat the game. This format has been yoinked and twisted many a times and is a personal favorite streaming subgenre of yours truly. And where does my dumbass come in? I'm glad I asked. I've been streaming for a couple months now, mostly out of spite related to a challenge from a one-sided but heated rivalry with an American Frenchman, but also because as I inch closer and closer to death by experience over time, I made a list. A bucket list, but for content. And the first item on the list? A marathon stream. And you've probably already figured out where Dark Souls fits into all of this, and you'd be correct. You see, I've never actually played Dark Souls, and it happens to be a game that made the list too. So this month, I am doing a Dark Souls livestream marathon. Specifically Dark Souls 1 Remastered. So a Dark Souls, like, one-a-thon, if you will. The only problem is, I am dog shit at gaming. I mean, like, I really suck ass. I haven't played many games since the PS2, so my resume includes car customization in Need for Speed Underground 2, speedrunning the Ratchet & Clank demo that came with my console, and like, clocking the campaign mode of the Shrek 2 tie-in game with my older sister. So to make things interesting, and because I have a full-time job, I came up with some rules and stakes. The plan is simple. 5 days. I go live for 5 days with a countdown clock, and I have to beat the game within the designated time frame. The Dark Souls 1 Remastered-a-thon will officially start Friday, March 20th at 5 p.m. EST, with a hard cutoff on Wednesday, March 25th at 11 p.m. EST. What happens if I fail to beat the game in the given time frame? The same thing that inevitably happens to every wannabe white male streamer that failed to get a respectable career in the real world. I bleach my hair. I know, this punishment seems played out, but for some additional context, the following month I am emceeing one of my best friends' weddings, and when I asked them what to wear or how to look, the only thing they asked me not to do is show up looking stupid. And what makes this even worse is, they don't even know that I stream, so I won't even be able to provide anyone with any context. Additional rules include that I have to go in blind. Yes, I have watched some playthrough highlights like over 10 years ago, but I still have no real clue what to expect. The only help allowed, or potential lack thereof, are mild tips and hints from chat. No full-on backseating, no spoilers, just guidance. I will also be soft launching additional punishments throughout the playthrough, which will be randomized with a wheel spin and applied every X amount of deaths, but I'll flesh that out during the stream. So if you want to come watch this unk struggle to roll his way through Dark Souls 1 with what can only be described as skill issue, follow me on Twitch at StanimationTV, link in the description down below. And yeah, I will see you Friday, March 20th at 5 p.m. EST. Also, subscribe to both my main channel and my VOD channel, all linked below, if you want to see more of me sucking at video games. But mostly